the majority of work that I do is in groups. And so the programs that I write for the groups have the same initial aspect, idea, the same system that we used in the programs and practice day. And now I will be fleshing out and working out how I'm going to deliver it, where I'm going to deliver it, and what I'm going to do. And that's what we're doing in the immersion coming up. Hello and welcome. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to your needs, the needs of the practicing natural therapist. With interviews, herbal discussions, something business and something clinical each week, you'll get the variety you need and enjoy to stay motivated in practice. Hello everyone and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So what is happening? We've got an immersion coming up. I've gone off the word challenge because I think the last couple of years have actually been challenging enough without using the word challenge anymore. And when we think of a challenge, I think that can set up a mindset for some people. So I like a challenge and, I learnt to bake sourdough bread. I had my starters going and that was a challenge for me, but then I gave it up. So I've been learning clubs. On a Wednesday morning, I do an online class with a New Zealand practitioner who teaches me. She's Pilates coach and she also teaches clubs and I do that. And that's a challenge. I'm still doing it because she's still running a class. Were she to stop, I'd stop too. So challenges, I feel, are great, but it's a bit like running a race with a challenge and that you get to the end of it and you go, okay, done, finish. Don't need to do that anymore. Whereas when we have an immersion, we think about it more deeply and we set up some systems. And that's what's going to happen. So rather than having a challenge in the academy, we're going to have an immersion where we set up those systems and we get some of that stuff done and working for us in a way that we need it to work. So we've done the programs and practice day. We've got our ideas running. We haven't necessarily written our programs. I'm not one for having everything written down and totally done because with the beta program or something, that's when you discover that you need more or less or to change things. So we really need a beta program anyway to check that we've done it all right and that we've got our first people on our program and that it's the way we want it to be. We're getting the results we want. So we have a beta program to start with. And that means that if we've written the whole thing, it's much harder to change it. We feel that any review we get is somehow harming us rather than being constructive because people aren't constructive, are they? We've talked about this. Sometimes people just aren't. They don't seem to think that anyone has feelings and so they just say what they want to say. It's really destructive rather than constructive. So we've got to think, if I have my overview sorted, which is what the programs and practice was all about, was getting your niche sorted, getting your ideas sorted so that we've got the outline and what we're doing and we understand where we would place it in our clinic. So we're not spending days, weeks, months designing this thing that's not ever used. Instead, we're creating something that in whatever entirety it is used in, whether it be used as a program or suddenly we discover that actually that is another consult that we want to do instead, the product itself, the content of the product itself is used. So what we've got is an immersion coming up so that we can set some of the systems in place to go with our day. All right. And that's what we're doing in the academy. I don't want to call it a challenge because, as I said, you run the race, you get to the end, you run through the ribbon and you're done. Whereas with an immersion, we're going to set up our systems, set up how we do things, what we want to do, and who we're delivering it to. And I've sold programs in my practice to my clients who are sitting there with me. Has always been my most successful way of selling my programs. Obviously, I'm selling programs to you guys. That's different in that you follow me in a different way. You're not coming in and sitting one-to-one with me. I'm doing a lot of group work with you guys. Of course, there is the 90-day program, so there is the possibility of one-to-one with me. But the majority of work that I do is in groups. And so the programs that I write for the groups have the same initial aspect, idea, the same system that we used in the programs and practice day. And now I will be fleshing out and working out how I'm going to deliver it, where I'm going to deliver it, and what I'm going to do. And that's what we're doing in the immersion coming up now, so that we've started things off. And it's really important that we're able to immerse ourselves in it and spend that time working on our structures. Yes, they're videos and things that people will be watching, because we want to be able to do it in our own time. We do need accountability, and so there will be accountability markers set into the immersion. And that's cool too, because some people might be like, well, no, you know what, I'm not at the right, it's great to know about this program stuff, but it's not right for me right now. And that is totally cool, because there's so much other stuff in the academy anyway that everyone's got stuff to do, whether they be doing this immersion following our programs and practice day, or whether they be doing something else from all the trainings that are in there. There are some clinical trainings in there just to help with old CPE and all the rest of CPD, CPE, whatever you want to call it as well. But it's been really exciting. It's actually been really exhausting, and I will be going on a holiday the middle of June for a couple of weeks. I'm going up the Unadata track, so I'm actually going to be bush for a little while. So apparently there is internet on the track, so who knows? So we'll be in desert, we'll be camping. And so while I'm away, I'm only doing one podcast a week, so I'm recording enough. So you'll know when I'm away, because they're all interviews and I'll be up country, so there won't be as many podcasts coming out, because a lot of these obviously are done in preparation for an event. I do batch podcasts, so I might get in flow with an idea and then I'll do a number of podcasts at a time. But, the majority of the time I do 2 or 3, and that's how I batch them, so that they're relevant for where we are in the academy, for where we are in the trainings. The Graduate Mastery Program for this semester is coming to a close. And the Graduate Mastery Program is different in that in the first month, we spend that time setting up people's practice. So it's really important to make sure that we've got these things set up. And there's always more information I can add to that, and I will keep doing so. And that's one thing about my trainings, is you get to come back to them. You've still got access to them forever. And with some of them, like the coaching the client, confident consulting, you get to keep coming back to that. So one purchase gives you repeat access to the lives and to the work that we do. But yes, it's been really good working with this group. It's been a small graduate program this time around. And this is the first time we've had our block sessions on a Sunday. So I'm looking forward to evaluating that with everybody who was in the group and seeing, is that what I'm going to do in semester 2? Maybe I'll choose a different day to have the block sessions in. I prefer not to do block training session in the evening, simply because I'm tired. Answering clinical questions, I'm tired. I need to be sparking. And so there will be some discussion with this group around timings and whether or not it should be a Sunday morning, with the group that are currently due to finish. And of course they get 4 one-to-ones with me as well that they have to take within the 6 months. So although it's a 5-month course, there's 6 months in which to take the one-to-ones with me. And they get access to the academy, they get access. So what I do is I try to get you all to join the academy first, then you get the discount code, and then you join the Graduate Mastery Program. And we look at specific areas. So because it's more of a clinical business, it's really a practice, doing the things for practice setup, doing the business stuff that needs doing, the practicalities of your business setup, and then the subject matter that you haven't necessarily done as much of in college as you should have done. So the pediatrics, the gut health, women's health, setting up your business. So they're the areas, you do a lot of women's health in college, but it's always exciting to do more, isn't it? Because we have a lot of women coming in to see us, don't we? So it's been really fun working with this group of ladies. They're a really good bunch of ladies. Actually, everybody who's done the graduate program is really cool. I don't think I've had anybody that I wouldn't recommend clients to go and see at the completion of the course. They really want to create that practice for the clients. They've got vision. And when I look at some of the ladies and, some of the people that did the course right back 2016, 2017, and how they are just exploding out into the world now. A couple of them have got amazing practices. They're full, they're booked out. Others are just growing and changing and increasing their following all the time. A couple of people have just had more babies. That's to be expected. They came in saying, hey, I've got a baby and I'm going to have another baby, but I need to keep keep my head in the game, and so I want to do the graduate program because, of course, there's the clinical skills in there as well as the practice stuff, so I'll have it all when I've had these babies. So there are a couple of ladies in it each time I've done one who have been qualified for a while but aren't practicing for whatever reason or are lacking confidence, clinical confidence, because that's where I really help. I make sure that the practice is working. It's all about getting your practice up and running. I'm not going to show you how to create a Facebook advert, but I am going to show you how to get your practice to work for you and when you're in there to answer those questions for those clients. And what's really interesting as well is when the people do the graduate program or they do one of my courses, they're so interesting. They say, I was absolutely dead. I had no clients coming in. I committed to doing your program and now I've got all these clients. It's like they're manifesting them because well, I wasn't sure I'd have any questions to ask you and now I've got all these clients coming in. So I've got all these questions to ask you. That's really cool when we manifest our clients. So actually that's something to leave you with today. How about the first opportunity you get, you set a timer for 4 minutes and you write some gratitudes down. So it's really going to raise your vibration. It's going to put your energy where you want to put your energy. Our energy comes back to us, and positive talk with gratitudes will really help with moving you forward as we think about all of the good things, our family, our business, our money, connection, creation, all of the things, and just slam out 4 minutes worth of dot points. It might just be names, it might just be taglines, the things that you're grateful for, and that will raise your vibration, and that's just going to help you with the rest of your day. If you're at the end of your day, doing a gratitude journal will help you to sleep. If you're at the beginning of your day, a gratitude notation, 4 minutes, set a timer, 3-4 minutes, really not long, just first thing that comes to mind, be grateful, and that's really going to raise that vibration and really help you through the day. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have an absolutely brilliant rest of day, no matter where you are in it and no matter where you are in the world. And I look forward to catching up with you on the podcast really soon. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.